Hey, good morning guys. It's your car guy Harry Drum. I got a cool video for you today. I am sitting inside of luxury, my friends. I got my hands on a 2019 BMW 5 Series. It's the 530i with Xdrive, so it's all-wheel drive. It's a mid-sized luxury sedan. If you can't tell, I'm reading a couple notes. This one right here is available, meaning it's for sale. It's got 37,954 miles, an 8-speed automatic. It gets 23 to 33 miles per gallon depending on how you're driving it and where you're driving it. The color is black sapphire metallic, which is an additional cost. If I'm correct, I was looking into pricing one new, just kind of get a comparison, and that one was like a $500 charge for that color. It's powered by a double overhead cam inline 4-cylinder. It's turbocharged. It's got 248 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque. And it is an IIHS top safety pick, so it's right up there with all the safest cars in the market. You know, your Subarus, Volvos, etc. Another interesting note is, like I said, I was pricing this car out new, and this one's used with under 40,000 miles, and it's 2 years old. And it would cost you $61,750 roughly new for a car with the same options as this one, and we have it here for $43,402. There'll be a link to some information, my information at the end. If you're interested in this car at all, please reach out. I'd love to help you get in it. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, here it is, the 2019 5 Series. I love it. I mean, the lines in the hood are mean and aggressive. I don't know if you can tell, but that grill's all shut up, but it opens when you stomp on the gas, so it's got like active grill shutters. I'm not exactly sure what BMW calls that, but I love the headlights. The whole front look is just, it just kind of screams, you know, I don't know, sporty or whatever the case may be. It's like where sport meets luxury. Let's walk down the side here. The wheels look really good too. I kind of dig almost everything about this car. It's really loaded with safety specs too, so just about everything you could think of. I really like this line here. Now, pardon it's dirty. We've been getting a lot of snow lately, so there's just salt in the air from all the road plowing and everything. Try to back up a little bit and give you the whole side profile. But that black looks really good when it's cleaned up. Let's jump in and check this thing out. Got myself locked out. So here's the back seat. It is not the roomiest car that I've ever seen, but I'm sure it's adequate. Had the driver position set to my height. I'm 5'11". I wouldn't say that I can stretch my legs out, but I am roomy. My head's not hitting the roof, and my feet are comfortably behind the driver. Now, I'm willing to bet, and I can't for the life of me figure out where the controls are. I'm sure if I played in it a while I could, but if you see this green accent light here, I guarantee you can change the color of that. The seats look really good. The leather feels really nice. Of course, I'm sure you'd expect that in a BMW. Of course, you got your rear vent controls here. Again, there's that green light. Dive up into the cockpit here. Some controls on the door for your windows, mirrors, and all that stuff. I did already notice that when you put it in reverse, the mirrors tilt down, and that's actually not that great of a feature. It's on some of the upper trim level Subaru makes. See all that salt, guys? You have to pardon the messy look. The gauge cluster, of course, heated steering wheel. But some of the neatest stuff I like is right here. Oh, this glare is terrible. I'm gonna pause it and move so we can get a better shot. Okay, that looks a little better. I don't know if you can see everything that's going on here, but there's a little knob right down here, okay? And if you turn this, it brings up different camera angles. So if I go to the rear and select it, it's gonna show me the rear, right? If I go to the side and select it, it changes to show me the side. And then there's one up here. Let's see if I can find it again. Yeah, there it is. You see that? I mean, you could just have cameras all the way around this thing. I love this kind of stuff. Call me a nerd, but sometimes this technology just trips me out a little bit. I think it's really cool. And then when you're backing up, I'll show you, it just like gives you warnings on everything. Well, real quick, before I pull forward, this gear shifter is kind of unique and different as well. You see you got some driving modes too, so sport, comfort, and eco, of course, for fuel economy. You got to push this button on the side, right? Pull it back, it's in drive. It's gonna kind of show you what you're close to, any hazards, right? So we're gonna go ahead and pull forward just a little bit. And then I'm gonna put it in reverse. So again, come down here, push the button up into reverse. And then I just want you guys to see this. You can see like these little fluctuating yellow bars telling you, you know, you're close to other cars, and they'll turn red if you get too close. Just gonna go real slow so you guys can see everything. Right? And then to put this thing back in park, you don't push it up because that's reverse. You don't pull it back. You got to push this little button right here. Boop. And then it's in park. See it changed right there on the gear shifter. All right. Like I said, this thing has a ton of controls. I could spend all day probably telling you about the stuff it does. I remember my buddy had a BMW back in the day, and he could literally like draw his finger on this and like send a text message that way. I don't know if this one does it. But it's like you got your phone hooked up and you open up your text message, and then you can say, you know, driving, you know, and then send it. It was wild. I don't know if this one does it or not. I'm not going to pair my phone up and play with all that stuff. I just want to give you driving impressions and show you how beautiful this car is. I love the seats. Like just even the lines in the seats impress me. Call me crazy. There's my notes. Here's another neat thing right here, right? So you push this open, you got wireless charging, of course, the USB port, your cup holders, and of course your old school cigarette lighter charger. This thing right here in the center opens up really neat. So it's got a little button under there, you push it, and it opens up wide like that, which I like. Call me crazy. All right, let's get this thing out on the road, and I'll give you some driving impressions. All right, guys, we're getting ready to get moving. I want to start over here in comfort mode. So the driving selection, I'm gonna change it to comfort. What I imagine that's doing, and I know BMW expert, is kind of electronically tuning the suspension, the power, the handling, all that good stuff. Maybe making it a little smoother on the road. I want to test that out and see how it goes. After I'm done with comfort, I'm probably going to make another circle in sport and just see the difference, because I'm kind of curious to see how much it changes. Well, initial impressions is, I mean, the car's super nice. The seats are comfortable. The tech is cool. I'll try to show you this heads-up display I'm looking at too, and post the legal speed limit and the speed I'm going up into the window, so it looks like it's in the road ahead of me. It's kind of neat. It is a comfortable ride, I'll say that. It's nice and quiet. It's not loud at all. I haven't really stomped on it, but the power feels, you know, certainly adequate. Where they say these cars are the funnest, though, or the most fun is in the turns. I read something, I forget the article, I wish I could quote it for you, but it was like these luxury sports sedans set the benchmark in handling prowess. It was worded like that, and it made me really want to drive it, so that's why we're doing this today. certainly is a nice ride. I'm gonna flip the camera and see if I can show you that heads-up display before I slap this thing in sport and need both hands. See, it looks like it's blinking in my camera for some reason, but it's not blinking here in real life. So I don't know why it looks like that in my camera. But it's very clear. It turns red when you're busting the speed limit. Right now I'm going 1 mile an hour over, and there it is. It's back to white. You know what would be really cool and wouldn't take that much time or effort? If you guys would throw this video a thumbs up and like it. It would be even more cool if you would hit that share button or even subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out a lot as this young channel starts to grow. Oh, big bump. Oh, it ate it like a luxury car. Imagine that. Didn't hardly feel it in the cab at all. And I've gone over it in some other vehicles, some Jeeps and stuff like that, and it is a pretty terrible bump to hit at speed. And I was running, what, roughly 60 there. Ate it up. Nope, now we're going to get behind a slow farm truck. Welcome to Virginia. I was in a couple turns there. I don't know if you could see my face. Maybe you're fans of The Walking Dead, but Negan, he says, I hope you got your shitting pants on. And, well, I don't know if you can tell by my face. I had my shitting pants on. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad. It handled the turns really smooth. It was great. I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna put this thing in sport mode. We're gonna see if it feels any different in these turns, these same turns. This old flatbed farm truck is ruining my groove. Alright, real quick, I'm going to come down to my drive mode selection. I'm going to hit sport. There it is. I'm not going to be doing the whole paddle shifting gig because, well, want one hand free to do some recording. I still haven't invested in any equipment for these. We got a car coming. Oh, it's a Mercedes. Battle of the Germans. Alright, let's get on out on this road. That was a little 0 to 60 without paddle shifting. It wasn't the fastest thing I've ever stomped, but it was fun. I'm gonna turn the camera back around. Yeah, like I said, not the fastest thing I've ever stomped on, but it was a lot of fun. You could definitely feel it. I don't have that much experience with an inline engine, so like an inline 6 or 4. I mean, I've driven some diesel trucks, but that would be the closest thing in comparison to an inline engine. All our Subarus are boxers, so they're what they call a flat 4 or boxer engine. It's just a little bit of a different feel. There wasn't a lot of turbo lag. There was a little bit in the very low end. Well, in sport mode, the steering is definitely tighter. Like if you wiggle the wheel a little bit, you're moving the car across the road. Whereas in comfort mode, it had a little more play. So there is definitely a change in the handling. I did give it a little stomp when I turned the camera off in comfort mode, and there was a change in that too. I mean, it's nothing dramatic, but you can certainly feel it. So I'll get back to the dealership. I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this luxury sports sedan, and we'll call it a wrap. See you back at the dealership. I'm gonna give you one more shot of the 0 to 60 turning out from this turn. I guess it's not a true 0 to 60. There it is. I mean, it's a lot of fun to drive, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, well, now I will really see you back at the dealership. I just had to do that one more time. All right, folks, that's a wrap. That was fun. I like this car a lot. I guess if you were trying to decide whether or not this car is right for you, there's a few key questions you got to ask yourself, and a couple of them are very biased. One is, do you really like German cars? Because some people really like German cars, and if you're one of those people and you're, you know, balling on a budget, if you will, this car might be very right for you. Another thing is, how much room do you need? It's got more room than a coupe for sure, but the back seat's not that roomy. They are laid deep back in there, the rear seat is, so you have pretty good amount of room for a car seat and stuff like that. But if you're constantly hauling around teenagers that are, you know, almost the size of full-grown people, you know, it might not be the most preferred choice. And I guess that's it. I mean, and does status mean anything to you? It's BMW. BMWs are cool. That's not one of my preferred selling points, but I mean, some people are really into that, and you know, whatever floats your boat. I think it's an awesome car. It was a lot of fun to drive, and if I was in the market for a luxury sports sedan, I would certainly consider it. Again, Harry Drum, CMA's Valley dealerships. I'd love to help you out. Please like, please subscribe, please share. It really helps the channel grow. You guys have a great day. Bye.